Hello, hello, good day, you most beautiful, magnificent stars of the morning. Yes, yes. No matter what time you see this video, it could be night, day, 3 years from now, you are the most beautiful star. You are. So, this message today will kind of play off of the Magi series, but it is timeless. I really wanted to do something today that, even though we will be talking about 2025 some and a little bit of 2026, whenever you're getting this message, it is meant for you, you beautiful star. So I am live and I am Courtney. Nice to meet you. I am host of Stars of the Morning Light. As people file in, I will greet them. I will say hello to them because we are a great community here. Uh, Very much so. We are a community of people who share and grow and learn and experience together. Together we are better. Together we are co-creating together. Regardless if you're listening to me, seeing me, and you're in the chat or you're hearing this later, we are together. There is no separation. So I see Kim came in. Good morning, beautiful. Yes, happy Friday. Most of my Friday mornings are at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So whenever you are catching this, that is when we are live. Um, they're fun, extra stuff, things to ponder, to go into your weekend with. So the past couple of Fridays, because it is in December of 2024 right now, we were just in the holidays. We still have New Year's to take care of. Um, I was doing a Magi. I was talking about the Magi from various sources. And this morning I was like, the Magi. Here's where I was planning on going with that. And we will be picking it up. But the point that I was going to head into was, do the Magi still exist? Which we're going to basically be covering that a lot in 2025, as in the different, what is now referred to as like the occult groups, the psychics out there, the mystics out there, from way back when to now. So oftentimes, when we really take a deep dive into the Magi, a lot of people are trying to expose that a lot of what the Magi, who they were, is still represented today. It's just hidden. It's in that esoteric knowledge. It's in groups of people that stay hidden in the caverns, underground, much like how the scene had to at their time period, at the time of the birth of the Christos into this body of form. So I went, as I am with myself in the morning, going, knowing what is about to come out of my mouth in a lot of 2025, I decided to take a bit of a different scope this Friday morning, this beautiful day with you, and ask, well, how do we become a Magi? Because wouldn't that be grand to become the law of instantaneous manifestation? To know how to release fear, doubt, hesitation, the judgment of 3D, and definitely the judgment of self, and that doubt that pulls us in to not experience our full worth and our magical, magnificent star self. So, this is why I kind of changed it up this morning. I see that Lucky Stone 888 came in. Good to be with you, sir. Oh, Lucky's probably still having some computer stuff, so he said he's in the chat. He is present with us, but he's not maybe going to be able to see everything. So, beloved Lucky and I, we have a show together. Some of you may not know that. It's actually been going for a year. December 8th of 2023 is when we started it. And moving into December of 2025, Lucky Stone 888 and I have decided that for various reasons, we are going to be moving our show to Saturday night, starting January 4th. So tonight, Friday, we will be here at Stars of the Morning Light at 8 p.m. with a pre recorded episode of Lucky Stone and I discussing what have you. I don't even know if we have a topic yet, but it's a great time, Esoteric Tea. Lucky and I are a very interesting balance, and we kind of mess with each other while talking about very in depth stuff, um, like brother and sister kind of relationship. And he has taught me a great deal of things over the course of the time of us recording those videos. Saturday nights, though, we should be proposing to go live once Lucky gets his computer stuff going. Either way, January 4th of 2025, we are Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What a joyous time to be together. And what else is out there on Saturday? I don't know. We are. We're doing it. We're going to be doing our thing. So, good day, everyone. And Jackie J came in. Good to see you, my dear. I do kind of do updates at the beginning. I kind of just allow those folks to come in. We are opening up our weekend with love and light, with a nice, beautiful, deep breath within all of us, the appreciation of a good week and a great weekend, right? So, happy sunrise. Seeker of Truth came in. Good to see you, my dear. With that being said, as some might still come in before I really get into it, folks, um, in 2025, do expect there to be some changes here at Stars of the Morning Light. All blessed great changes because I reached 500 subscribers. Blessed be to all of you. Thank you. Thank you. If you are new here, welcome. We are a wonderful community. For those who have stuck by my side, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, so within that, there's some extra perks that can uh, happen here now, right? With that 500. So blessed be to all of you. Thank you for participating in this experience together. That is Stars of the Morning Light, right? We're going to actually come back to those beautiful stars at the very end of today's message because you all have the potential to be a star of the morning singing your song. Oh, I can't wait. I'm excited. I know how I'm going to put a nice little bow on this message at the very end. I see Teresa came in. Good day. Good to be with you, my dear. So with it being said that there was the Magi series, and I do believe there is a playlist that I already put together. There's 2 videos there. Um, a lot of things were said. And in the last one, the second part, which I'll attach this video to it as well. The part 2 of the Magi series, man, we started going in depth about the SUN. And do know the SUN, the sun, that is going to be a very big theme here at Stars on Morning Light in 2025. I have my reasons. I also have my reasons as to a 3-part series that does have a playlist that I did a couple of months back of Chaos and Order. So if you aren't up to date with the Chaos and Order playlist, please go back and listen to it because Well, I had my reasons why I presented it at that time, and it'd be good to listen to going into 2025. So, beloveds, I did pull a card as we do every Friday morning from the Sacred Geometry deck. And I pull the card with the intention for the message of the day. And so when I ask the cards, I say, hey, give me a card that will play into the message for today. So it can kind of, there's an image for everyone to see and think about, and a frequency of the sacred geometry that if parts of this message kind of filter through throughout your weekend or whenever you hear this image can support greater understanding. So, the beloved deck of mine, I'm so very connected with my decks, um, pulled the card number 35, perception. Hmm. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. I will hold the card up and I will try to steady it for the camera as best as I can. I do have a bit of a glare happening. I do have a new camera that I will be utilizing soon. I hope everyone had a magnificent holiday, has a glorious new year. Oh my goodness. See all those? Oh my goodness. This is such a powerful card. Perception. Look at that beautiful sacred geometry. Oh my goodness. Perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. That is wonderful. That is amazing. So, as we go into the message of today, let us have that in our mindset, that image, that frequency. Good to see everyone. Blessed day to everyone. One of the things in the part two of the Magi that I was really trying to focus on um, is this concept of the chosen one. The chosen one. I did a video long ago about the chosen one because there's a lot out here, especially on YouTube and other social media, referencing the chosen ones. And I was trying to emphasize, at least in that past video, and again in the part two of the Magi series, of how we can all be quote unquote the chosen one. It is our birthright. And the term, the definition to chosen one means the revealer of God's secrets. So when we're talking about the Magi, and we will be exploring this topic throughout 2025, like I said, in today's world is more the esoteric, the cults, the secrets, the alchemy. How does all of this happen? How does all this work? And I want to do a great shout out to the patrons of Stars of the Morning Light. Anyone can do a monthly subscription. The link is in the description below. $5, $8. Whatever you can afford can get you in the door. I teach there twice a month because in 2025, it is all about the patrons. And they will be exploring and learning how all is energy within that understanding of a chosen one, being that chosen one, to fully integrate those quote unquote God secrets, as we are going to be discussing today, in terms of the phoenix, the lovely mythology story of the phoenix. Who doesn't love that story? Most people love the story of the phoenix, and we can all use that story to understand how to move from this life experience of 3D in this body of form into being more like a magi, a chosen one. So, as I talk about the patrons, one of the blessed things that I get to witness, because witnessing is my favorite thing to do. By the way, I love witnessing. I love witnessing everyone in the chat. I love witnessing all of the peoples walking around and being peoples, even when I might not understand, which I have a grand more amount of awareness now as to what goes on. Um, it is an honor and privilege to be able to witness everyone. It's my favorite thing to do. Truly, sincerely, it's my favorite thing. With that being said, it has been such an honor to witness the majority of the patrons over time of Stars of the Morning Light learn about, accept, and start to move and experience their authority. And I've had many of them thank me for that, which I am as you are as I am. So I am humbled. So one of the themes to this overcapping, that overcaps what's going to be said today, is this concept of authority. And when we think about the Magi, even though it's secretive, even though we don't really have a full understanding because it's so ancient that it is semi-reported that they might actually be related to 3 stars of the Orion sword. I mean, this is so long ago. They are the stars of the morning. They are the shiny ones that over time have become the scene and then become the occult, become the alchemist, right? Become all those who have gifts that utilize them to help others reach their potential. The concept of authority is very important, and it's going to play out in all of what I say today. Oftentimes, as we move throughout our life, knowingly, unknowingly, programmed to, conscious of, not conscious of, accepting of, not accepting of, we tend to give our authority, our power, over to something that is outside of ourself, and whatever that may be. And oftentimes, it's for reasons. We have our reasons. It could be safety, security, peace of mind. It could be a whole lot of reasons. But over a lifetime of doing that, and many actual past lives doing that as well, right? Many of us have a great amount of pastimes that it was imparted to us to just give our authority over. Wow. If the question that I'm posing today is how do we become a magi? That is a huge aspect to love, appreciate, acknowledge, and accept our birthright, that the power is ours to obtain. So it's a huge message that we'll probably be going back and forth with in 2025 as you all come to understand that you are a chosen one. You too can be a revealer of God's secrets, right? So, how does that tie in with this concept of the phoenix? I would say commonly, just common knowledge story out there, just common in our minds, what our memories can kind of pull out of is there's this beautiful, magnificent bird who rises from the ashes and transforms into this almost majestic celestial being that is magical and can live for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. We do not know exactly how long a phoenix can live, how long that being sustains, right? That is the most common association with the phoenix, unless someone has done a deep dive and really looked into the mythology. But if I were to ask somebody on the street right now, hey, can you tell me the story of the phoenix? It would be that. It would be a roundabout, well, they die in the fire and then they rise from the ashes, rebirthed as this beautiful red and purple golden big bird that it's all about transformation. And some might say it's a Greek mythology. Some may say it's Egyptian mythology because it's an old story. So that is our common knowledge of what's happening there. I'm going to put a little bit of a different spin on it today, using that common story that we all basically remember and know. I'm not going deep into variations of the story. I'm going to be throwing a different spin on it. So, yes, yay, exciting. With that being said, then, this common, okay, it burns up, it dies in the fire, but then it rebirths, transforms, is anew, powerful, beautiful, magnificent, golden, red, purple, beautiful, very large, very mighty, very significant. In the Greek stories, it said that Apollo tried to follow this bird every morning as it sang, flying around the sun and flying in our hemisphere. What a magnificent, I keep saying that word a lot. I think it's because it was in my mind when we read it Christmas when we got together, and I love the word magnificent. So let's look at this. And I'm going to throw something in there that the Akashic told me a long, long ago. That I do believe I read also long, long ago. And so I don't know what source material it came from. What I understood and still do understand is that that bird was represented by what is referred to as the golden eagles. Golden eagles. And it does go back to even pre-Egypt or current Egypt as we understand it, right? Goes back to even cycles ago. the golden eagles. And over time, then that golden eagle turned into the phoenix, the rising of the ashes. But it was a very, very significant being. And these stories have been kind of lost over time. I do remember as a child reading about it, but I was in a very obscure um, uh, place that I'm not going to remember the material. Golden Eagle went into then being the story of the Phoenix. And it was attached to, so you know, the zodiac sign of the Scorpio. So Scorpio, known as the sign that is all about transformation, went from golden eagle to phoenix, then into the beetle. That beetle, though, is very significant, and we will be returning to that Egyptian beetle that it represents the Scorpio. It does the themes, the ideas, the concepts of transformation, of going very, very deep, to go so deep within to then be able to transform without, right? We love discussing the hermetics here of as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without. As we remember our frequency of today, perception, the frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Do you know those beetles that are all over the Egyptian hieroglyphs and very profound? Do you know that they are focused on the sun at all times? The sun, the sun. This bird that we're talking about, red, gold, purple. Red, gold, purple. Those colors are pretty significant. Red, the fire, the passion for life. Red. And bear with me because I'm going to show you something. Gold. And red can go into a lot of things, but I do love the fire and the passion. Gold. Well, that's immortality. That's energy conductor, which is the best energy conductor in the world. The color of gold is immortality, purity, very, very powerful. Let's just put it that way. Purple. Oh, I love purple. Purple, not just royalty as like a chosen one's birthright, but also spiritual transformation. So I'm going to hold something up. I'm going to hold a few things up because I am live and I, kind of just realized I was going to do this. So I'm going to hold this up. I'm going to slowly hold this up, make sure we see everything. This is your actual chakra system. So most people don't know that there's a earth chakra attached to them below the feet. And we move on up, and now we're in the red and the pink areas, right? Of our root chakra. That red. And as we move up, golden in like the third chakra area. Golden, our powerhouse. The area that connects us to the earth and to above, moving all sorts of energy through us. Our core, as many say. But as we move up and we move up, now we're into our more purple area where we start thinking about our third eye, star consciousness, our crown, spiritual transformation. What many might not know, though, is this up here, all the way at the top. This is the most golden, most bright. This is your stellar. This is your star consciousness. This is what, when we are fully opened and moving, this up here, which I'm hoping everybody can see, this golden, beautiful chakra that we all have. We all have this. This is what filters through, and our crown is open. We're able to take it all in. Our little powerhouse down here that matches it starts sending it through. Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. Most people do not know that they have that. Have you got a body? Are you inside of a body right now? I hope so. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear, you also have your star consciousness, golden, cosmic gateway. If you've been with Stars of the Morning Light for quite a while, many of you would know some of this because I've showed it before. The patrons of Stars of the Morning Light very much know this. I'm going to hold something else up. The levels of consciousness chart. Oh my goodness, it's lovely. So once again, we're in red. We're in red down here. Then we start moving into some other colors. We are going to be talking about the fire, the passion for life, the red, and why it serves us, this 3D, in actually great ways. We do not have to hate 3D energy. We do not need to strive very hard to try to leave the 3D and know better, to reject it without accepting the why. And as we move up and move up, look at all these amazing colors into the purple of expansion, that crown. And as I'm going to try to bring this in closer, you might see this word enlightenment. See how that enlightenment is actually, I'm double checking, you can see, yes. Enlightenment. See how it's kind of covered in some darkness, some what might appear to be what ash around a phoenix could look like. Hmm. Hmm. That fire, that 3D red of that chart. But on the phoenix, it can be passion for life. What inspires us most to do better, to learn more, to experience different, to start to claim our authority? It is the 3D. It is the different struggles and pains and traumas and difficulties of all of that lower red chakra area. And I have covered this, sorry, I have covered this extensively on free videos that are at Stars of the Morning Light on Patreon. The IW1 video covers this, and then there's also a um, consciousness chart video there. And it's free. Just go, you can just watch it. All of this, even though it's very difficult, even though we feel trapped, even though fears got us in a chokehold, sometimes it feels like that is what inspires, gets the fire under our butt, right? As one may say, to start healing and moving up this chart. And same with the phoenix. Same with the phoenix. There's a part in that story that I don't know if many people actually pay attention to, unfortunately. So you're here now paying attention to it. Awesome. Because many people commonly would just say it's it's the bird that dies in the fire but then resurrects out of the ashes. And it's a very inspiring story based on that. What many people just kind of commonly miss is that the phoenix builds its own fire. The phoenix says, okay, it's about that time. I think I've lived as many hundreds, thousands of years this round. I'm going to build my own fire, authority, accountability, acceptance. I'm going to build my own fire, and then I'm going to burn myself in that fire to become all new. Many people forget that part, when that part is actually the most significant of all of it, of all of it, because that's what we do. That is what we do as humans. And of course, this message is for adult humans who um, have the opportunity of choice and to experience their choice because they are adults. This is not for those who are young. This is for those who are adults who have the freedom of choice. So even, let's say, traumatic things have happened to us as we were growing. It has happened to many of us. We heal. We choose differently. We learn. We accept. We forgive. And when it is time, when we are realizing, I could become all brand new. I could let all of this die away. Many people I know at this time of year, at New Year's, many people, I know there's people in chat who are going to be doing the same thing. Many, many people at New Year's will make a list of all the things that no longer serve them. And then what do? They burn it. 3D, that red, that fire, all the difficulties, all the pains, all the suffering, all the shame, all the guilt, all the grief, all the amount of fear. Red is that fire that we go, okay, I'm going to light it up to release myself to become a new, clean slate so I can then fly around like the golden eagle that I am. But it takes a lot of that stuff. It takes acceptance, acknowledgement, awareness. It takes knowing that you have the authority to build your own fire, to release yourself, to become anew. The reason why I'm putting this in there is because, like I said, common understanding of this story is usually, well, coming out of the fires of life, because life is so difficult, you get to transform and be anew without acknowledging that it's actually our own authority, our own accountability, our own acceptance level, our own choices, our own choices that build that fire. I do realize that for many of us, from past lives to this current life, we were building very big fires for ourselves. We were building such big fires for ourselves out of all various reasons. Could be the trauma, it could be the programming, it could be we didn't know any better, it could be that we continuously gave our power away and thought we had no power of choice, even though we were making the choices all along. And now we're like, oh my goodness, this is hot, hot, hot. Well, then we can light it up even more so and put ourselves directly in it. Some might refer to this as baptism by fire. I think it's beautiful. I think it's wonderful. And I do think that all of the things of 3D that cause the pains and sufferings that we throw another log onto that fire, knowingly or unknowingly, we're just throwing logs on. I think that is actually the inspiration. So if you have a big old fire going with a bunch of logs, knowingly or unknowingly, based out of the pains and fears of 3D living, and your fire is huge, magnificent, because the faster you can burn, the faster you can transform, the faster you can start flying. You can become all anew. That is there to inspire us to do so. Not just in this story. This story is a representation of what we're supposed to be doing with 3D. Because within the 3D is still love, right? There's still love and learning and graciousness and and tons of beauty and joy within the 3D. But it's those logs on the fire that keep us from experiencing it because we're standing outside the fire going, this is too much. This is too much, instead of getting inside that fire, trusting that if I burn all this away, I will fly. So I bring this up because next Friday is going to be the 2025 Akashic message, like yearly message. So yearly energies, which I already know a bit about. And of course, there will be a Akashic January message for the collective and zodiac messages. But next Friday, I will be covering 2025. And I believe last year I actually had to do a two-parter. I don't know if I will have to this time because I go much more in depth. Here's the thing that I know though. In 2025, this concept of fire, of alchemy, because all alchemy, and I've said this before in other videos, so I'm going to say it again, all alchemy, absolutely all alchemy, true alchemy requires fire. And you could talk about the emotional alchemy when people start to heal. It is usually based out of those fires of 3D, all of the pain that requires the healing, right? But I don't care if we're talking about turning, a rock into gold alchemy, or if we're talking about just creating form out of the formless, or if we're talking about internal, so it can be external. It doesn't matter to me because I know all alchemy requires quote unquote fire that could be symbolically or physically. I'm talking symbolically that all of 3D is that fire. It's the fire of passion. It's the fire of love. It's the fire of turmoil. It's the fire of heartache. It's the fire of all of it. And it is there for us to use in that alchemy purpose of deep, deep transformation. In 2025, I love you all. Them fires will be ablazing. They will be. And it's up to you as to how you want to trust it. Do we trust that these fires are happening for our highest alchemy, our highest flight in purpose and awareness? Are these fires happening so we can finally go, I have the authority and power to completely get rid of what no longer serves me and rise from the ashes? It is all in, as our sacred geometry card wanted us to be aware of, perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosities. Our natural curiosities, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. 2025, when those fires will be going, are we going to pause and go, whoa, I might be a chosen one. I think I am a chosen one, which means that I have authority, which means I built this fire. I am as you are as I am. It is as we are. It is as you are. Hmm. Well, if I built this fire, but I am powerful, I am chosen, it is my birthright, well, then what do I do with it? Hmm. Do I step inside of it knowing, oh, I might get burned, but it is all for my betterment. It is so I can really deeply look at it. So I can look at it in a different way. So I can maybe know, this is my so-called reality. But if I decide to move past my comfort zone, burn, is there a whole nother kind of reality to live? Going back to the beginning of this message, when we were talking a little bit about things that people might miss or forget about this beautiful story of the phoenix. It's not just that the phoenix builds its own fire when it is ready, it is time. It knows I am ready to burn all of this away and rise anew. That element of the story, that part of the story, that it also, the phoenix song, that beautiful phoenix song, that most stories will say that there's nothing like it. That even Apollo would try to chase this bird around in the morning just to hear the beautiful song. We are stars of the morning light here. And a whole lot of ancient stories that refer to the stars of the morning also then say when they were singing. When they were singing, when the stars of the morning sang their song, when the beautiful lights sing their song. Well, think about that. In order for that phoenix who does create their own fire and then willingly says, I'm going to go all the way in. I'm going to go so deep into this fire and I'm going to rise above. I'm going to completely rebirth myself. And the first thing that it chooses to do is to sing. Is to sing. Sing the most beautiful, glorious song that even the gods were enchanted by it. And when we think about magic and the Magi, the patrons of Stars of the Morning Light know that all magic is communication. We've learned that. They're starting to experience it now. All magic is communication, depending on the form of communication. It could be communication to self, as I am asking those to look at. Could be communication between self and the elements and self and the divine. Usually it takes all three. But communication is also vibration. Remember, consciousness is frequency. Consciousness is frequency. The frequency you hold because of the conscious level that you're at is the vibration you give out. How beautiful of a vibration within singing, within voice. This is why in all these ancient temples and mounds and everything, when we study the vibration of sound in them, we go, whoa, something happens, right? The first thing the phoenix does is it sings every day. And it's the first thing it does when it rises from the ashes. Magic. Within that vibration of sound. Within that vibration of sound. That it flies around, filling all the lands with its beautiful song. When the stars of the morning would sing. When the stars of the morning would sing. So, in 2025, it will be a choice as to how you want to perceive the fires, how you want to handle them. But there is a grand opportunity to use 2025 to then, by 2026, rise from those ashes and sing. And many of us will be doing so. Many of us will be doing so. And more of this understanding will be discussed throughout the entire year that we're headed into. the concept of the Magi, we will continue to go back to, as we are all chosen ones as our birthright. Chosen one, the definition, revealer of God's secrets. Stars of the morning, singing the vibrations of the magic that illuminate the world. So good to see everybody come in. Big Dad standing tall. Good to see you, Neil. um, good to see everybody. This is for you to maybe just think about headed into the new year. We can pull so much inspiration from our 3D living experience. Turn it into huge logs for that fire to release it all, to allow it to burn away and then soar. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. What a grand time we have chosen to be together and live here. You all chose to be here at this time. What an amazing time to be alive and to have that passion for life, to use the fires, to go, yes, I can use all of my alchemy to rise and sing and be the light, the SUN. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness. Well, beautiful stars, we are still in the holidays. So happy holidays. I hope everyone's holidays are going beautifully, smoothly. I hope there's some relaxation happening, some more awareness happening, some self compassion and compassion to others. My great teacher, Shri, repeated nonstop until it kind of sunk into this brain of mine that everything, even these fires, everything is an opportunity to practice compassion for self and others. It's wonderful. And thank you all for joining. If you like what you hear, consider joining us at Stars of the Morning Light as a Patreon member. I go more in depth, like I said there, and this year a big grand focus will be on the patrons because they are transforming. They are doing great work as I teach there twice a month. So, and it also helps out this channel because this channel, I'm not there yet to making any money being here. So it also helps out the efforts in this house. If you would like to just donate, because maybe you got a Christmas bonus this year and you want to give back some, because I don't believe this house is going to receive a Christmas bonus for the first time in a long time. You can always use PayPal at starsofthemorninglight@gmail.com. That's the email address that you would use to donate at PayPal, or the link is in the About section. And or if you would rather use Cash App, it is SML, all capital letters, SML Courtney, Cortney. There is no U in my name, so it's SML Courtney. I would appreciate it because, like I said, we are now very much believing that there is no Christmas bonus this year for this household. So I love you all dearly. Most of all, do consider becoming a patron. Lovely community of those sharing, learning, experiencing, and growing, doing their own alchemy together. It's an amazing group. So be here next Friday because that is when I'm going to start talking in depth about the energies of 2025, which will make this show today make even more sense. Be here tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Esoteric Tea with Lucky Stone 888. And I do remember by next week, January 4th, Esoteric Tea is moving to Saturday nights at 8 p.m. So Beloved beings, you beautiful stars, I grant you a beautiful weekend. Share, grow, be together. Compassion for self and others. Thank you, everyone. Have a great one. Bye, guys.